welcome back. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is the Oracle Arms 2311. It takes SIG P320 magazines, which I just happen to have a ton of. Got this out to a USPSA match this weekend for a little clanging and banging, and it was awesome. This is a hell of a gun, hell of a ride shooting this thing. I'm not too nuanced with dots yet, but I'm getting there. It was a hell of a time. Take a look at a few more stages. We'll come back. We'll kind of do the over-the-top thing, talk about which divisions this might work in for IDPA and USPSA, and at the end, we'll come back with some pros and cons. Hang in there. All right, here we are over the top of the gun and the CCP box for IDPA. So I'm not going to take the optic off to show you this, but so the optic will stop it a little bit. The height without the optic will fit the box just fine. The length of the gun is just enough. So as you can see, it can kind of get the front end. You'd be scraping the back of this box right here. So I think it will fit the box. You'd have to push it in, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to scratch my new gun. So that's a 15-round magazine. It fits flush with the magazine well. This magazine's all beat up, but fits flush like that. My side of the gun mag release, or slide release, is a little bit different than the traditional 1911 slide release, and it does move up and down a little bit, but it also locks it to the rear and lets it go, so all good there. The safety, if you can see that on this side, is a full safety. It seems a little bit wider on this side than on my side of the gun, but it does function easily. It's got a, I don't know, skeletonized hammer looking thing, I guess. The mag release, this was pretty cool. They sent it to me like this with the magazine release on my side of the gun. So they must have asked me at some point, are you left-handed or right-handed? Because yeah, showed up with the mag release on the correct side of the gun for me. So that's the gun in the box. The divisions, I think this is going to work in the best. This would be, with the full-size grip, this would be an excellent limited optics gun. The magazines are ubiquitous. You can find them just about anywhere if you live in a free state. And for IDPA, I think that with the full size magazine well, you could shoot this in ESP or CO, and if you use this mag well and the 15-round magazines, you might have to take a little bit off the back here, but I think this is going to fit pretty well into the CCP box. So you got a lot of options for the compact. The big one would be just ESP and CO. But yeah, that's kind of the up close and personal. Let's take a look at a few more stages and we'll come back to the pros and cons. All right, so those are the stages. As you can see, they were super fast stages, and with a big old dot and a single action trigger, those are the exact kind of stages I was looking for. Fast shooting, kicking ass. There was plenty of fast shooting, not a lot of ass kicking going on my end, but it was still a good time. So let's get into the pros and cons of the Oracle Arms 2311. First of all, like I said before, it's a 2011 that takes SIG P320 magazine. So I don't know a shit ton about 2011s, but I do know that I've seen a lot of guys with the regular pattern 2011 magazines, STI or whatever pattern 2011 mags are. Seen a lot of people have issues with magazines, And in my opinion, this does away with a lot of that. These are a proven magazine. They work. They are expensive, but they're not as expensive as 2011 magazines. Like I said, I've never owned a 2011 or bought 2011 magazines, but I've looked into it because I don't think there's a lot of guys that shoot these sports that haven't looked at 2011s. But yeah, those magazines are incredibly expensive, and on top of that, I've heard stories of guys that once you buy the magazines, now you got to tune them to make sure they work right, and this thing has been eating up whatever I've put into it so far. I did have one hiccup with a certain type of ammo, which I'll talk about in the cons. But other than that, it wasn't a magazine issue. It was an ammo issue. It's fully ambidextrous controls. So I'm a lefty, and this is kind of what I don't want to say I was waiting for it, because like in USPSA, which is where I plan to use this the most, it doesn't really matter that I have a slide release on my side, and you could always get an ambidextrous safety. However, once I saw this come out that it takes SIG P320 magazines, I'm already a P320 shooter, and it's fully ambidextrous. I just had to get one. So the fact that it is fully ambi, I think that's a boon for the market in general and for us lefties. It comes with 3 mags, but I got lucky because in this deal, not lucky and unlucky, I guess, I could only get 10-round magazines because of Washington State's ridiculous gun laws. Normally, this comes with 3 magazines. However, in this instance, I ordered it and waited, which I anticipated waiting. It wasn't a big deal to wait, but Oracle must have felt bad that I was waiting so long, because they emailed me, and I assume some other people, and said, hey, we feel bad that the production's taking longer than we thought. We're going to give you 2 extra mags. So I got 5 of the 15-round size magazines. This is one of my own Legion magazines. But 5 of the 15-round sized magazines that only hold 10 rounds because of Commie Washington State. But that's pretty cool. So I'm happy that they were accommodating in that regard. So this is the compact model. And one of the reasons that I chose the compact is that for work, we're shooting a Glock 45. So this is a 4 1/4, but 4-inch barrel, full size grip. And so I kind of wanted to stick with that same idea, with the full size grip, with the 4 1/4 or 4-inch slide and barrel combination. And they didn't have that. They didn't have a model like that. And so rather than buy the full size and worry about this later, the only difference between the full size grip and the compact grip, which is what you see here, is this magwell. This magwell comes off. You put the full size grip magwell on, and now you've got a full size grip. And Oracle said that they were at some point going to be looking to sell the larger magazine well, and so I thought, well, I'll just when that's available, and I've been bugging them already. Every time I email them, I'm like, hey, when can I get that magwell? And so hopefully that's going to be coming soon, because with a full grip on here, I get a full grip on it either way, but it doesn't stick out terribly far. That's the 17-round Legion mag, so it's doable now. But with the bigger magwell, I think it'll be just a little better. But anyway, I think that's a pro, is that this is the same. This polymer portion of the grip module is the same whether it's a 15 or 17, and the magwell is the only difference. I have heard that in the future there's a competition model coming out, and that this will be steel. If that's the case, and they said they're going to sell these parts interchangeably, and they sell a steel grip module. I think that's what it's called. Let's call it a SIG. I don't know what some 2011 guys probably going to be mad at me and correct me in the comments, or it's called this. All right, sorry, but I'm going to call it a grip module. When and if they make a steel one, I'll definitely upgrade to that. The range bag. People are interested in the range bag. So it comes with this cool range bag. It worked just fine for me. It is a little big, but I don't know, man. For what this thing costs, you get a decent amount of mags and stuff in there. These are all the mags I put in there, but yeah, plenty of room. Nice material, made by Savior something. I don't know. It says it in there. If you're super into bags, you'll like that one. Some of the things that it comes with. So this came with the iron sights. The iron sight, the rear sight is on a plate, but it is dovetailed into that plate, so you can change it if you want to. But it came with a suppressor height sights inside the bag if you want to switch to that, and it came with 3 different plates to take most of the common optics that we see out there. This is a Holosun 507 comp. This is on the RMR footprint. You do get a little bit of a front sight, or front sight, but you get a rear sight on the back. I can't see it through this. I can just barely see it as I'm there. So like it's not obtrusive. It's not in the way. But if I needed it, it is there. But it's cool to have that, I guess. So yeah, most common optics. I know the RMR and the Delta Point. I don't remember the third one. I want to say it's the RMSC footprint, but I could be wrong on the third one. So don't be mad at me if that's wrong. Oh, it will fit in the CCP box. So this compact version will fit in the CCP box. So forgive me, but I will not. I didn't or won't push it down into the box. So it's almost exactly the length dimension of the CCP box. And I think that if you were to force it down, you'd either be scraping on the back of the this beaver tail here, which isn't the end of the world, but that's going to scratch that up. And I don't know. I didn't want to shove my new gun into a box, so I didn't. But I think it would fit easily if you wanted to shoot it in CCP. The trigger is decent. I understand that this is not, the competition model of this gun. So mine came in at about 4.5 pounds, which is, perfectly fine for the skill level that I'm at. Like, I don't need it to be any better than that. I was fiddling around with somebody's STI that had been worked over, and it was like 2.5, and that felt really good. So I don't know. Maybe in the future, somebody smarter than me or better than me can work this thing over and give me a little bit better trigger pull. But right now, I'm not noticing any, deficiencies with the 4.5 pound trigger. The reset is pretty damn good, especially for me coming from striker fire guns. So we've got the trigger pull there, like I said, about 4.5, and there's your reset, just a click away. So not much travel, not much over travel. Which for me, coming from striker fire to this is the first single action gun that I've owned and used. So super nice to me. Super nice for me. Anyway, okay, moving on to the cons. I don't have a lot of negative things to say about it. So far, it's working really well for me. I will say it didn't like the 115 grain, so I read the manual, which I usually don't, but I read the manual and it said, hey, take this thing out for it was either 100 or 200 rounds of factory ammunition to get it warmed up or get it broken in. So I did. I did that sort of. I was like, yeah, I'm going to shoot 50 rounds of ball 115 grain, and then I'm just going to put some of my reloads through it and see how it does. So at the range, it did not like the 115 very well. Take a look at this picture. So it's kind of doing that when I would load it. So I'd load it, and it wouldn't take that first round, and I kind of bang it on the back of the slide, and it would take it, and it would fire after that. It never jammed on me. It was like the rounds were too long or something. I don't know. It wasn't coming off the magazine right. However, with my I don't shoot round nose. I shoot flat point 147 grain blue bullets. With those, it's cycling like a champ. So I put some of that through it, and my 115 blue bullet CCP load. It ate that stuff up too. So I don't know. I think it was just a little bit different, maybe a little bit longer. I'm not sure what the deal was with the factory ammunition. It fired it just fine, and it seemed to eat it up really well. I don't know how to describe that. I guess is that like even though that stuff was a little hotter than what my 147 grain load would be, it was almost like the slide cycled faster and moved a little better. So I don't know. Might be something to look at in the future with ammo and ammo changes. Small complaint here. So I'm a lefty, and when I get a hold of this, and if I'm holding right here and I push this down, there's a little piece where this trigger, or not the trigger, the safety rotates into my hand and pinches me. Not that big of a deal. Another small little uncomfortability is that there's a little notch right there on this grip, and I don't. It just protrudes a little bit more than I'd like. So I'm gonna take a little bit. I haven't done it yet, but a little bit of fine grit sandpaper, I think, and sand that down a little bit and just make it a little smoother. I think that'll be perfect for me. So two small things. Um, Another small thing right here. This has got it's got gas pedals on either side, or a thumb rest, thumb ledge, whatever you want to call it. I like the thumb rest on my 320s a little better, and I don't know if that's just because that's what I'm used to, or if this is better and I just don't know it, because that's possible too. But it feels like my thumb is just a little bit farther down than I wanted. I'd like my thumb kind of up here, but being on the rest, it's down here. It's a very small difference, and it might be just that's what I'm used to. But like I said, the Go Guns keeps my thumb up a little bit higher towards the slide, and I like that. So not a big deal. I'm glad that they work that feature into the gun rather than leave it off anyway. Okay, so I have this as a con. Like, you're gonna wait to get one of these. So they have a military and law enforcement discount, so that was awesome. And these range between 18 and 2,100 bucks, which generally I think it's worth that. It's a good gun. It's doing well so far. But you're gonna wait. So they debuted at SHOT Show 2023, and I waited a little bit. I was like, yeah, I don't know. And usually, like they say, don't be the test subject for people that are making new stuff. Let the market come out and test it and see how it's going to do. But I couldn't wait, and I waited as long as I could, which was till September. So I ordered it in September, and I got it, after I had to wait for Washington's ridiculous 10-day thing. I just got it last Thursday. So today's Sunday. I got it Thursday and took it out to a match. So, yeah. So final thoughts overall on this thing. Like, I think it's a winner. I'm super looking forward to running this and getting the full size grip on here and the steel. The other thing that I might change on here is this is more of a carry sized safety. They have a bigger one on the full size model, and I assume that's what they'll put on the competition model. So that might be another change to come on this guy. But I'm liking the barrel length. I don't think I need more than that. And the ergonomics of it feel very similar to a SIG P320, which is, probably sounds intuitive, like it's designed around that magazine. So for me, I like 320s. If you like 320s, you're probably really going to like it. The Holosun's working out really well for it too. So overall, like, I just think this is going to be a big winner for anybody who likes 320s, which is me. So before the new 10-round law went into effect here in Washington State for the magazine ban, I bought 20 Legion mags and 20 15-round mags, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to. And so I have a ton of 320 magazines. So I'm excited to run this. I wouldn't mind picking up another one. Maybe when the competition model comes out, I'll give that one a try too. But if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Other than that, check out our website at www.dz-214.com, where you can donate to the veterans charities that we support. Yeah, we look forward to a lot more matches with this guy. I'm thinking that I still want to do, I told myself, like, as soon as we get dots on our work guns, I'm switching to dots for competition. And we just did that. But I think I want to do one more year in production, because I've been waiting for production 15 for so long. It would feel, I feel like I'm missing out on some of the party for production 15, and I'm super interested to see how that's going to affect production division, or if it has any effect on production division in terms of more people shooting it. So yeah, take a look at the websites, and we'll see you on the next one.